The Galactic Council floated above the golden floor, their many eyes, limbs, and heads focused on a single screen. Something had returned. A ship. A human ship. Possible, whispered Chancellor Varn of the Talari. His long fingers trembled. Humans were destroyed 100 years ago, yet there it was. Black as deep space, scarred by ancient battles, the ship drifted just outside Council space. No signal, no movement, just watching the room filled with whispers and fear. Some had fought. The human wars. Others had only read about them in history data tales of savage strength, its impossible bravery, and endless rage. Ambassador Zuin of the Haraxi clicked his mandibles. We must investigate. Maybe it's empty. Maybe it's just a ghost. A ghost doesn't block communication signals. A ghost doesn't jam satellites. And a ghost doesn't aim its weapons at listening posts. Still, the Council voted to send a scout team. 5 small ships, fast and smart. Nothing aggressive, just a look. Captain Resh of the scout fleet led the approach. His crew was silent. As they neared the ship, they saw strange marks along its hull. Old burns, deep scars, but no sign of life. Suddenly lights blinked on. Not from the ship, but from their own systems. We're being scanned, shouted the pilot. Retreat, Raish barked. But it was too late. The human ship moved, slowly, like something waking up from a long sleep. A black beam flashed across space. One ship exploded, then another. No sound, no warning. Just death. Captain Raish's ship spun as systems failed. Alarms. Screamed, a screen flickered to life. A face appeared. A human. His eyes were dark, his face calm, but his voice. You shouldn't have come. The screen went black. The last thing Raish saw before losing power was the human ship turning away, vanishing into the void. Back at the Council, panic erupted. How can they still exist? Screamed General Urich. We burned Earth. Chancellor Varn stared at the silent stars. Maybe we missed something. Worse news arrived. All 5 scout ships were gone. Only a short recording remained. It showed the human's face, his voice, and his message. You shouldn't have come. No more. No threats. No explanation. Just that. The Council's secret. War room buzzed with fear. Some wanted to prepare for war. Others begged for peace. But no one knew where the humans were now. The only clue came from an old record one no one had read in years. It was a final human transmission, sent right before the Great War ended. We will disappear. Not because you won, but because we choose to. Let us sleep. If you ever wake us, remember what comes next. In a dark chamber, deep in the stars, something else stirred. Another human ship. Not a warship, but a carrier. Inside, thousands of stasis pods lit up. Old systems rebooted. AI cores blinked online. The first pod opened. A woman stepped out. Her skin pale from sleep, her eyes sharp with memory. She walked to the command deck and looked at the galaxy map. They woke us, she said quietly. Another human stepped beside her. Then we give them what they asked for. Back on the Council homeworld, Ambassador Zuin watched the stars from his glass tower. Something felt wrong. He remembered the stories told to him as a child. Stories about Earth, about how the humans never attacked first, how they always warned before they struck, how they never stopped fighting until their enemy begged for peace. He whispered, maybe we made a mistake. Suddenly, all lights in the tower went off. Then a signal played. A message from the same human face. This is your first and only warning. The Council tried to keep the truth quiet, but news spread like fire across the stars. A human warship had returned. 5 scout ships were gone. The message was clear. You shouldn't have come. On the planet Drexia 4, a mining colony near. The Outer Rim workers looked up and saw something strange in the sky. A shadow moved across the stars. Then it disappeared. A few minutes later, all power went out. The sky turned red. And then came the scream from every speaker, every screen, every comm link. We remember. The colony didn't stand a chance. In 10 minutes, It was gone. Not a single life left. Not a single building standing. But one thing remained. Carved into the rocky ground were 5 words. We asked to be left alone. Back at the Galactic Council, fear turned into panic. What do they want? Cried Lord Vero of the Grawl. Revenge? War? Or are they just mad? General Urok slammed his fists on the table. We must strike first. Destroy them before they spread. But Chancellor Varn raised a hand. Do you think we didn't try that? A century ago? The Council went silent. In the old war archives, hidden deep under Council HQ, a historian opened forbidden files. His name was Telek. He was young, curious, and now afraid. He played old videos, real footage from the human war. It was worse than he ever imagined. He watched humans fighting without fear, running into fire, smiling while bleeding, lifting machines twice their size, breaking through force fields with only rage and willpower. One clip showed a human soldier being shot 5 times. He still got up and took down a whole enemy squad. They weren't like other species. They didn't stop. They didn't surrender. They only grew stronger the more they were hurt. Telek backed away from the screen. Monsters, he whispered. But then he played another file, a human mother holding her child. A human doctor helping alien refugees. A message from Earth, we want peace. But if you try to kill us, we will not stop until the stars burn. Telek took this footage to the Council. Some didn't want to see it. Others refused to believe it, but Varn watched silently. They tried to make peace, he said softly. We were the ones who pushed them. Meanwhile, at the edge of space, a second human ship appeared. Smaller, faster, deadlier. It moved through the dark without sound. No one saw it coming. Not until another station vanished. The station was home to 30,000 people. Now gone, but this time, the humans left a recording. The footage showed humans walking through vacuum suits, no helmets, their eyes glowing with tech implants, their hands tearing metal. They moved like ghosts, silent, fast, unstoppable. At the end of the video, a human voice said, "This is still mercy. Next time, we won't knock." A secret military group was formed, Operation Starshield. Their mission, find and destroy all human ships. They sent dozens of patrols. None returned, only static, or screams, or silence. In a hidden part of the galaxy, deep inside a black nebula, the humans gathered. They had only a few ships left, but each was powerful, smart, upgraded with technology stolen from 100 worlds. Their leader, Captain Myra Stone, stood on the bridge of the warship Ashburn. She stared at a glowing star map of the Council systems. They burned our home, she said. They hunted us like animals. Now, we show them the echo of war. Her second-in-command nodded. They wanted us gone. They forgot that humans don't disappear. Back on the Council homeworld, the stars seemed quieter, but everyone felt it. A storm was coming, and this time, it would not stop at one planet. Captain Selrox of the Draven Empire sat alone in his dark ship. He had served in the Council Navy for 40 years. He had seen war, pirates, and rebellions. But what was happening now? Something else. Ships were disappearing, not destroyed, erased. No wreckage, no distress signals, no black box data. Entire fleets were vanishing in deep space. Only one thing was always the same. A human signature appeared just before the loss. Then, Selrox studied the map of recent attacks. His 4 hands moved quickly over the glowing controls. "These are not random," he whispered. "This is testing. They're measuring our response time, our defenses." He stood up. His back hurt. His heart beat faster. The humans are preparing for something big. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council was arguing. General Urok slammed the table. "This is cowards' warfare. Humans hide in shadows. Attack from behind. We must crush them." Chancellor Vaughn raised his voice for the first time. "And how many fleets will you sacrifice?" "Every ship we send. Gone. Not defeated. Erased." "Ambassador." Zuin tapped his datapad. "We have no idea how many human ships remain. 1, 10, 100? We don't even know where they are." The room went silent. For the first time, the council felt helpless. Selrock sent a private message to Chancellor. "Varn, I have studied human movement," he said, "and I know where they will strike next. In a secret station orbiting the icy moon Telvarnes, a trap was set. 50 elite ships, heavy weapons, full shields, AI defense drones. The best the council had. They waited in the cold dark. No movement. No sign of the enemy, then a flicker. A shadow on the radar. For half a second, the commander leaned forward. Was that? The radar went dead. Every screen turned black. Then one word appeared. Knock. And all hell broke loose. No one saw where the humans came from. They just appeared. From behind asteroids, side ice rings. Under sensor range, they moved fast. Too fast. One council ship exploded. Then two. Then 5. AI systems failed. Drones dropped from the sky. Missiles hit nothing. Inside the main ship, the commander screamed, "How are they doing this?" And then came a voice. A human voice. Calm. Cold. "You called us ghosts." Hey, so we became ghosts. Selrox watched everything from a hidden ship nearby. He didn't join the battle. He only observed. What he saw shook him to his bones. The humans didn't fight for fun. They didn't fight with hate. They fought like machines with purpose, with silence, and with perfect control. One by one, the council's strongest ships fell. And then, it stopped. The human ships vanished into the dark. Nothing left, except one surviving drone. It carried a message. Back on the council homeworld, the message played in front of all leaders. The human voice was quiet, calm, almost gentle. We asked, "For peace, you gave us fire. We came to build. You chose to destroy. Now we return the favor. No threats. No screaming, just truth." Selrox met with Chancellor Varn in secret. "We can't beat them with ships," he said, "or bombs, or speed. They are smarter now, stronger, angry, but controlled." "Then what do we do?" Varn asked. Selrox looked. "Up at the stars. We find the truth. We show the galaxy why the humans vanished. What we did, and maybe, just maybe, we stop the war before it becomes extinction." But it was already too late, in the deep dark. 3 more human ships came online. Their engines hummed like thunder. Their lights glowed. Blood dashed red. They set course for the inner systems. The galaxy thought humans were gone forever now. It would learn. ... They had only been waiting. Telek, the young historian, sat alone in the council's forbidden archives. Dust filled the air. The lights were dim. No one came down here anymore. He opened an old file, labeled Operation Final Dawn, classified. He wasn't supposed to be here, but he had to know. The humans were returning in. The galaxy was scared. But why? What really happened 100 years ago? He pressed play. The screen showed Earth green blue. Alive, the year 3127 Galactic Standard Time. The voice of a human spoke. "We offer peace, trade, friendship. We ask only one thing. Let us grow in peace." Telek blinked. This was not a message of war. It was a handshake. Next.
Ow.
A secret council meeting. Alien leaders argued in fear. "They are growing too fast," said a voice. "They build cities in months, ships in days. If we wait, they will surpass us all." "They are kind now," said another. "But what if they change?" A decision was made. Wipe out Earth before it became a threat. Telek's heart dropped. This wasn't defense. This was betrayal. He played more. Footage of the attack on Earth. Thousands of ships surrounded the planet. Humans begged for peace. Sent. Messages cried out. Then came silence. Council forces fired. Earth burned. Telek covered his mouth in horror. Children screaming. Cities vanishing. Oceans boiling. He saw human soldiers trying to save civilians, not fight. And when they fought, they fought to protect, not to conquer. A final message appeared. A human general, face bloodied, standing on rubble. Behind him, burning flag. You feared us because we grew. You hated us because we were different. You united to kill us, but you forgot one thing. Leaned close to the camera. You may break our bones, you may burn our world, but you will never, ever erase our memory. Then static telex sat frozen. Everything the galaxy knew was a lie. Humans didn't start the war. They were hunted, betrayed, murdered, and now they had returned not to destroy, but to remind the stars what was done to them. He took the files to Chancellor Varn. Varn watched them in silence. When it ended, he stood slowly and said, "We are not the heroes. We are the monsters in their story." Telek nodded. "No way. And they haven't even told the whole galaxy yet." Meanwhile, in deep space, a giant human carrier approached an old colony world. Not to attack, but to broadcast. They hacked into every screen, every system. Every ship. The message played across the stars. Billions of beings watched in horror as the truth unfolded. Footage of Earth's destruction. Children running, cities falling. Humans holding signs of peace. Council ships raining fire. No edits, no lies, just raw truth. The final frame, we asked to be left alone. Across the galaxy, protests broke out. Citizens turned on their leaders. Why? Did we do this? Why did we lie? Why did we push the humans? But it was too late. In a secret bunker, General Urok smashed a screen, shut it down, kill the signal. But the human tech was too strong. Every planet saw the truth. Every mind was changed. The galaxy now knew it was never Earth's war. It was Earth's punishment. On the warship Ashburn, Captain Myra Stone watched the chaos unfold. Her second-in-command spoke. "They finally know." Myra nodded. "But will they change, or will they strike again?" Paused. "And if they do," Myra looked out the window. Stars reflected in her eyes. "Then we show them what happens. When you push humans too far." The war had changed everything. Thousands of stars were dark, trade networks gone, planets in chaos, refugees sleeping under broken domes. For the first time in galactic history, everyone feared one name: humanity. Not because of numbers, not because of power, but because they fought like no other race. They felt pain, remembered betrayal, turned it into unstoppable strength. Inside the council's grand chamber, silence filled the air. Every leader was present, even General Uruk, his pride now shattered by failure. Ambassador Zuhan had returned. From the secret meeting with the humans, he placed a black stone on the table. "Earth's last gift," he said quietly. "They won't strike yet, but they are watching." He looked at each face. "You have one choice now: surrender or burn." The Chancellor stood slowly. "We surrender then?" "No," said Zuin. "We confess." Murmurs filled the chamber. "Confess to what?" Kwan asked. "See you," and raised his voice, calm but firm. "To the genocide of Earth. 2, starting the war. 2, lying to the galaxy for 100 years. The room erupted in panic. "No one will believe us. Our people will revolt. We'll destroy everything we built." Zuin looked at them and said, "One truth they all feared: if we don't speak, the humans will." Far away on the Oblivion's edge, Mira Stone stood on the bridge, watching the stars. Jock stepped beside her. "They're talking," he said. Panicked. Scared. Mira said nothing. "They may surrender," Jock added. Still silence. Then Mira spoke. "We're not looking for surrender." Jock blinked. "Then what?" Yes. Mira stared ahead. "Change." On the planet Galers 5, refugees gathered. Under the broken sky, one child asked her mother, "Will the humans kill us too?" The mother knelt down. "Don't know." Above them, screen flickered on. A message was being broadcast galaxy-wide. It was a council confession. The Chancellor spoke, his voice shaking. He told the truth about Earth, how they feared human growth, how they united and attacked without warning. How they erased a world that had asked only for peace. He ended with these words: "We beg for a future, not with lies, but with truth. We offer our shame in hope of your mercy." Back on Ashburn, Mira watched the broadcast with cold eyes. Then she turned off the screen. "What now?" Jocks asked. She spoke just 3 words: "We give them time." It wasn't over. Not yet. In the shadows of the council homeworld, a secret group of war-hardened leaders met. They were angry, ashamed, terrified, and they wanted revenge. They showed mercy. But what if they strike again? We should strike first one final time. Kill their leaders. Destroy their ships. They built a plan. Fast, deadly, final. They sent stealth ships toward Oblivion's edge, armed with quantum bombs enough to destroy even a star. They thought it would be easy, eh? Surprise. But they forgot one thing. Humans never trusted words. As the stealth ships neared the human dreadnought, alarms blared, cloaks failed, weapons locked on. In an instant, the entire council attack fleet exploded before reaching firing range. Only one message was sent back: "This was your last mistake." In the council chamber, red lights flashed. Everyone stared at the sky. The Oblivion's edge had moved. Now it floated above their planet. Its shadow covered the land. Weapons glowed bright. The countdown began. 10.9. 8. Panic spread. Cities evacuated. Leaders wept. Some begged. Others prayed suddenly. The countdown stopped. A message played across the world. Mira's voice cold, sharp, calm. "This is what fear feels like. This is what you gave to Earth. Now you understand us." She didn't. Fire she didn't destroy. Instead, the dreadnought turned and vanished into deep space. The galaxy didn't cheer. It didn't celebrate. It sat in silence, because now it knew humanity's greatest weapon wasn't war, it was restraint. The galaxy waited. No one spoke. No one moved. The human ship Oblivion's edge had left, but its shadow remained on every mind. It could have destroyed the council homeworld. It had the power, and it chose not to. That silence spoke louder than any war on the council world. Children asked, why didn't they destroy us? The elders answered, because they wanted us to feel what they felt when we destroyed their world. In the deep black of space, Mira Stone stood alone on the bridge of the Ashburn. Staring into the stars, Jax approached quietly. We could have ended them. Mira nodded. Yes, they tried to betray us again. Yes, then why hold back? She turned to him, her voice cold but calm, because revenge is loud, but understanding is louder. Across the galaxy, change had begun. Council members resigned. Statues of false heroes were taken down. Schools taught the real story of Earth history. Books were rewritten, not to shame, but to remember. A new monument was built at the heart of the galaxy. Not of a council leader, not of a famous battle, but of a broken Earth flag. It's placed gently on a stone pedestal. It read, "Forgive us if you can, but never forget us." Myra and her people didn't return to war. They didn't demand tribute. They didn't ask for planets or thrones. They simply watched from the shadows, from faraway stars, letting the galaxy decide its own path, but always with one. Are still here. Ambassador Zuin traveled from world to world, telling the true story of Earth. He held the black stone Mira had given him. He placed it on every world that once supported the war. Not as a threat, he said, but as a reminder. The humans began rebuilding their hidden colonies, not to conquer, but to live. They opened channels quietly, invited peaceful species to talk, to trade, to learn. Some came, some didn't, but all were welcomed because humans understood something the galaxy never did before. Kindness is a choice, but memory is forever in time. Even the children of the council worlds grew up asking, were the humans really that dangerous? And the answer came from the stars, only when pushed. In a quiet cave on a faraway moon, a human elder spoke. To a group of young survivors, They listened closely. The elder pointed at a small plant growing in the cold rock. "Life is like this," he said. "It grows even when the world is cold. Even when others try to crush it. But never forget." I held up a small piece of burned earth soil. "This is what happens when you burn something that only wanted peace." And so the galaxy finally understood. Not just the strength of humans, not just their fury, but their depth, their pain, their choice to hold back. When they had every reason not to, from that day on, every leader in the galaxy remembered one unshakable law. You can fight a human, you can fear a human, but never ever push them too far, because if you do, you won't just lose the battle, you'll awaken something you can never stop. It began without warning. No alarms, no signals, just a bright light over the planet Rilo 7, a major trade hub in the galaxy, then dashed destruction in less than 10 seconds. The planet's defense grid melted. In 20 seconds, its 3 moons shattered. In 1 minute, the entire city planet was gone. Over 3 billion lives vanished into dust. There were no survivors, no escape pods, no time to speak. Only one thing remained. Black satellite floating above the ruins. It played a message in a calm human voice. This was mercy. The next strike won't be. The council screamed for action. Emergency meetings were held across systems. Panic spread. Worlds closed their borders. Military ships scrambled. Refugee ships fled from outer colonies. But deep down, everyone knew. This was just the beginning. General Urich slammed the war table. This is war. Full war. We strike now, or we die. Chancellor Varn sat in silence. He had watched the destruction of Rilo 7 100 times. Still, he couldn't believe it. They didn't just attack a planet, he whispered. They sent a message. Ambassador Zuin clicked his claws nervously. What message? Varn looked around the room, his voice low. That we don't control the galaxy anymore. The council sent 5 full military fleets. 100 ships in each. They aimed for old human territory, hoping to crush them at the source. But they never made it. Each fleet disappeared before reaching hyperspace exit points. One by one, gone. The council tried to contact the attackers, but the humans didn't respond. Instead, survivors began to appear, not from council fleets, but from destroyed patrol stations and defense towers. Each survivor told the same story. They came from nowhere. We couldn't see them. We couldn't fight back. They let me live to deliver a message. The message was always the same. We asked for peace. You gave us war. Back in a hidden human war chamber deep in the asteroid field of Theta-6. Captain Myra Stone stood before a large glowing screen. Red dots marked destroyed locations, blue dots marked high value. Council targets, the red was spreading fast. Her second in command, Lieutenant Jock, spoke. They've lost 5. Fleets? No return signals. Myra said nothing. Then she gave her first true order. Now, we go to the core worlds. The plan was clear. Hit fast. Hit hard. But leave one survivor every time. Why? So they would spread the fear. Humans didn't want planets or power. They wanted memory. They wanted the galaxy to remember what they had done to Earth and why that mistake should never happen again. The next target, Yarvox Prime, the Council's main military base. Its skies were filled with defense satellites. War drones. In orbital cannons, the humans didn't care. They came in cloaked. They split into 5 wings. They moved faster than any alien AI could react in just 5 minutes. The base fell, but again one ship was allowed to escape the pilot. Bleeding and terrified, flew to the council and cried. They didn't fight like soldiers. They moved like shadows. Ow. Their weapons cut through shields like paper. They laughed. One even whispered, "This is still us holding back." The council was crumbling. Half their fleets were gone. Trade routes were collapsing. Leaders were resigning. People protested in every major city. Ambassador Zuin stood before a secret meeting of peace-seeking species. "Maybe it's time we stop fighting," he said. Maybe. We admit we were wrong, but General Urich refused. They killed billions. Zuan looked him in the eyes. And what did we do to Earth? Urich went silent. Meanwhile, Mira watched old footage of Earth again, her mother standing before the United Nations building as it burned, her father carrying wounded children through rubble. She closed her eyes. Still not enough. She said quietly, "We haven't shown them true fear yet." Far away, the last human dreadnought awakened. 10 times. Larger than the Ashbourne, built in secret. Armed with forbidden tech, powered by a dying star. Its name, Oblivion's Edge. Destination, the Council. Homeworld, the galaxy was burning. Trade routes were broken, outposts abandoned. People stopped trusting their governments. From every corner of space, one message spread like a virus. You never should have pushed the humans. In a secret chamber deep beneath the city of Vorten, a strange meeting was taking place. High above, the council still called for war, but down here, far from the cameras, a different group had gathered. Aliens from many species, leaders, scientists, soldiers, survivors. They had one thing in common. They didn't want to fight humans anymore, and among them was a surprise guest. General Kale Sarin, once a hero of the First Human War. He stood tall, scarred, silent, until someone asked why. "Are you here?" He looked at them and answered, "Because I fought them once and survived." Years ago, Kale had led the assault on a human colony. His forces outnumbered the humans 5-1, but they lost, not because of weapons or tech. They lost because humans refused to give up. He remembered watching a human pilot crash his own fighter into a battleship, just to stop its cannon. He remembered a wounded girl helping soldiers reload weapons with bloody hands. And he remembered the message humans sent before disappearing: "If we return." Now, Kale stood before this secret group. The council lied, he said. "We feared humanity because we didn't understand them, so we crushed them." But they didn't die. They waited. And now they've returned smarter, stronger, and colder. Someone asked, "Can we stop them?" Kale shook his head. "No, not with guns, not with fleets. The only way to stop them is to give them a reason not to finish what we started." At that same moment, far away on the warship Ashburn, Captain Myra Stone received a message, encrypted. Strange dot from General Kale Sarin. Her officers looked confused. Could be a trap. Said Jocks. Myra stared at the screen. "No," she whispered. "Kale Sarin is a name burned into every survivor's memory. Fought us, but he never ran. If he's speaking now, he has something to say." She opened the message. It was a video. Kale stood in front of a small human monument, built in secret after the war. Behind him, a broken Earth flag. He said, "I know words may never matter. But I'm not asking for peace. I'm asking for a chance to change what we did. There's still a part of humanity that remembers mercy. Listen." Mira said nothing. She stared at the screen, then replayed it. Once, twice, 3 times. Back at Council HQ, its leaders were panicking. Over 60% of their military was gone. Dozens of colonies. Destroyed worlds silent. The Oblivion's Edge the most feared. Human ship was moving straight toward the Council homeworld. Its engines burned with the heat of a dying star. Its size blocked out stars. Its name alone caused fear in every briefing. If that ship fires, our planet ends. In secret, the peace group sent a signal to the humans. They sent proof of what Kale was trying. They begged them, "Give us a chance to show you not all of us want this war." Hours passed. No answer then. Something impossible happened. The Oblivion's Edge stopped moving inside. Captain Mira stood in silence. Jocks asked, "Why did we stop?" Mira's voice was cold, strong, sharp, because once, before the flames, someone gave us a chance to speak. Now we return the favor. But humans don't. Forgive easily. A message was sent to the council. You want peace? Prove it. And along with it, coordinates? A place in dead space. No armies. No cameras. Just one human shuttle would arrive if the council truly wanted peace. They would send only one. Not a ship. Not a fleet. Just one voice. The council argued for hours. Was it a trap? A trick? But in the end, they chose someone no one expected. Ambassador Zhuan, the only one who had always said, "We were wrong." He took a small ship. Alone, toward the black emptiness, toward the humans. He landed on a broken moon, silent, cold. There stood a single human figure, mirror stone. No guards, no weapons, just eyes full of memory. Zhuan stepped forward and spoke first. "We were afraid of you because you were like fire. And instead of understanding, we poured water. I'm not here to ask for peace. I'm here to ask for a future." Myra stared at him. She reached into her pocket, pulled out a small stone. Black. Burnt earth rock. She placed it in his hand. "Then carry our memory," she said, "and tell them we're still watching."